Hi, and welcome. This is the Connector's Edge podcast, and I'm really excited about it. Every time we meet, we have something great to share. A podcast for me used to be only audio, and now guess what? You can watch us on YouTube and you can listen to us on all the cool podcast apps. So if you're driving down the road and you just want to listen, that's great. But I really think that you should go over to YouTube and at least see what we look like.
Heck, we get up, we get makeup on. I actually combed my
You
hair.
brush your hair or
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
You probably have to
polished.
go like
I
this,
polished.
Chris. There you go. Anyway,
That
Connectors Edge podcast is only one of the many things that Referral Business Builders has to offer. So I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the things that you can do here in Referral Business Builders. And the first one I will go into is all the networking opportunities. So we have hours of networking with different hosts and different topics and different trainings. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Just go to referralbusinessbuilders.com and you will see all the leaders and you'll see the dates and the times, and you can come as our guest. You do not have to pay to come as a guest. Just hit the guest button and come in and check us out anytime. Now, one of my favorites is every Monday morning, Chris Severs, which is here as our guest today. He has a book club that he hosts, and it's called the Connectors Hour. See, you get the connections. Hello, Connectors Hour, Connectors Edge, connections. It's all about connecting with who, not how. Right, Chris?
That's exactly it. And that is the book that we're studying this week or this month or wherever it ends up being. Absolutely one of the best books I've ever picked up. It is filled with deep, meaningful suggestions and things that I would never even thought of. And I am absolutely loving this tiny little book, but it is packed with some powerful messages.
Yes.
might have to get up earlier.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, it's
indeed.
7:30 a.m. every Monday Central Time. For you, Ricki, you are Mountain Time, so that's
Mm-hmm.
6:30 a.m. Sorry about that. And for those of you on the East Coast, it's at 8:30 a.m. So please come and join us. And if you become a member, which is only $10 a month, you can watch the replays in case you can't make it, because I think by honing in on the different aspects of the book for each person, it's different. As we have noticed in our
Sure.
book club, everybody gets a little something different out of it, and the conversations really make you think. So come and join us. It's a wonderful opportunity. All right, so we're going to get right into it. Ricki is my co-host, and Chris Severs is our guest today. And so I am really going to start with a question, and then I'm going to turn it over to Ricki because she's got questions too. So my first question is, Chris, I looked at your website. It's called Dreams in Bloom. And one of the things that I noticed right away was the word bloom. The logo, the colors, the clouds. So if you haven't gone to his website yet, try to go and check it out, dreamsandbloomllc.com. And I think that you're going to see that he is really about helping people get past their whatever's that they come up with. And the more I know you, Chris, the more I believe that you could help just about everybody. So
Thank
my
you.
question to you is, how did you come up with something like Dreams in Bloom? It's so powerful.
It is, and it kind of hit me one night as I was laying in bed. I've been going through this study since 2017, and I noticed in my own journey that it seemed like I kept blooming. Things would come into my mind, and my mind would just kind of, the way I
Hmm.
envisioned it, my brain would just open up like a flower. And the more I opened up, the more came in. And I'm like, well, why couldn't I do that for my clients? Why couldn't I help them bloom? And I'm like, I can. So I'm like, if I'm dreaming and blooming, what could that mean? I'm dreaming big. And when I dream big, I have to have a bigger space to put that dream. So I have to bloom. I have to open up. And so Dreams
Beautiful.
and Bloom came around that way. And of course, there's always doubt has to come in. Well, that's not a good name. Somebody's already taken it. So I had to do some research. And there was a flower shop that had a similar name, but it wasn't totally that. So I went ahead and filed for the name after, running by some friends, what do you think? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So that's where that came up. And the more I do this work, the more I know that if people are ready to think outside of their norm, that they too can bloom and they can dream big as well.
Beautiful. I
Thank you.
really, Chris, what I find interesting is you and I went through the same training, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's called Dream Builder. I am a Dream Builder coach. You are a Dream Builder coach. So to me, that was just a natural. When I heard that, that's what you had named your business officially, I said, wow, yeah, makes a lot of sense. And then it allows for so much more than just coaching.
Mhm.
There's a whole element of dreaming, and then, as you said, the blooming, the growing and blooming and prospering and blooming and, having much more fun and having a fuller life. That's, I
Indeed.
think, the whole key to the coaching
Yes.
and to what you do.
And we talked about this in our book club this morning. It's all a mindset as well. And
Mhm.
being willing to shift your mindset.
Yeah.
Not everybody is able to be at that point of being able to shift their mindset. So for them, you have to just plant a seed and let that germinate. And then over time, that may bloom into something bigger for them. But when someone is really ready, when I hit this in 2017, I was ready. And boy, when that seed was planted, it sprouted quickly and just took off from there. So people have to be ready for a mind shift.
Yep. That is so true. When I took the training, which is a little before you, um, it was a whole new world to me. I'm pretty open, and one of the things that I remember from Mary's teaching and the whole group, which is it's an amazing bunch of people, um, is the idea of having fun in your
Mhm.
life and putting fun into your business plan. Do you remember that
I
part?
do. And that was the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah.
I mean, who ever taught you to put fun in your business plan? That's not something they teach in college
Nope.
or in school, period. And when I heard that, it's like I knew I was in the right place. It's
Yes.
like I can have fun because I love to have fun.
Hmm.
Life is meant to be fun.
Exactly. And putting in literally putting having fun, whatever fun means to you, into
Right,
the business plan was kind of a foreign idea to
right,
me too, but
right.
it makes so much sense
Mhm.
because if what is the old saying about all work and no play
No play.
makes Jack a dull boy or
Dull
something?
boy. That's exactly it. Yep.
Yeah. And if you're not having fun doing what you really love, which is an oxymoron if you're not.
Right.
No, it's contradictory. Um, why do it?
Exactly.
And
That's
that's
my that's my point. Exactly. It's like, why live if you can't have fun? You
yeah,
know, you're not put on this earth to be a boring, stick in the mud, sitting over here by yourself.
right.
We're all herd animals, whether we want to think about it that way or not. We are meant to be in community. And if you are in any type of community, there's some elements of fun that they have in their
Oh
community.
yeah.
And that's what life's about. It's about this balance of working, but also having fun. enjoying time, renewing, and having fun.
Love
Yes.
it.
You know what just occurred to me? I'm sorry, Marion, go ahead.
Well, I just go ahead. I have my next question when you're done.
Chris just said we are herd animals, and
Mm.
that's spelled Herd.
Mhm.
And when I thought about that, it just blinked into my brain. We are also Heard animals,
Mhm.
especially if we're in community and if we're, working with other people. And if we're solopreneurs, which many of us are, we need to be heard, Heard.
Yeah,
And it's not always the Herd that's around to hear us. So that's
right.
one of the reasons that Marion and I decided to start this podcast to communicate and connect.
Mhm.
And so I just want to tell you, Marion, and everybody else who's been on here, I'm very grateful for this, especially since I moved out of the local and can now really appreciate those people who call in from out of Texas, where you're located,
Mhm.
uh, because I am one. And this is the Connector's Edge. If you'd like to join us, please indicate it below in the comments. That's one thing that I know you'll get a lot out of the discussions that we have, or the chats, whatever you want to call them. And it's really important for us to know what's going through your minds as you're listening. We love feedback. So now, thank you, Marion.
There you go. Well, Chris, I want to know a little bit more about your business and who you help. So my question is, who is the typical person that is attracted to your coaching, your training? And who is the person that you really want to be attracted?
Well, I want someone that is ready for a change in their life. They may be somebody that have just been floating along. Life isn't horrible for them, but it's not great. They know there could be more aliveness, more vibrancy. They just don't know how to do it. And I want that person to be able to connect with me and let themselves bloom into that next version that's seeking to emerge.
Hmm.
And when they do find me, just past clients, they have found a whole new way of living. It's not just that mundane daily grind. Let's get out of bed with vibrancy, excitement. What's today going to bring? And it has been such a wonderful gift to be able to watch these people bloom and to go from scared, unsure of where their next meal is coming from on a fixed income to thriving and now going out and volunteering at places that feeds their soul, not just doing it because it's a good thing. They get just revived just being in this place. I am absolutely amazed at what people can do
So
if
is
they
it
will just
male?
open.
Is it female? Is it an age range? What's the type of person that we're talking about?
I, there's this whole thing of niche. I kind of shoot for anyone 35-ish to 75-ish, 80. And that's quite a wide range. But if you look at that whole demographic, depending on where they are in life, at points in their life, we get stuck. And we may not even know we're stuck. We just fall into this whole rut of getting up, doing it over again, getting up, doing it over again. There's no fulfillment. There's no vibrancy. There's no real life in that. And at some point, you come to a realization, I've lived the same day 365 times. I want something different. And when you wake up to that realization, I want to be standing right there for you because I can help you make those next 365 days something you will never believe until you try it.
Okay, so you never mentioned male or female, but you
Oh,
just
I've,
mentioned 35 plus. Okay, let's
yeah,
just go with
35
that.
plus.
Because I think you're right. Each area of our life, we do have a different perspective, different things going
Sure.
on. I mean, when we're raising kids, it's a little different than, when the kids leave and you have an empty nest, they
Mhm.
call it. That's a whole nother thing that they have to get used to and that type of thing. But we do. In every situation of my life, I can see how I got stuck. And so, yes, great to be able to reach out to someone like you and get unstuck. I like that.
And
I really do. Thank you.
it's male or female. Um, and if we have time, I'll give you just a brief story of Tony. He went through this program that I teach, and Tony worked for a corporation, and he stated later on that he felt like he had to check his soul at the door. He become anaphylactic, and they couldn't find out why. All of a sudden, he'd start having anaphylactic shock, and he'd have to take the injections or be rushed to the hospital. This went on for months. And when he started taking this course called Dream Builder, he realized checking his soul at the door was costing him his health. But he was the breadwinner. He didn't know what to do. He felt stuck. So, with this training that we do, he was able to come up with some ideas. He started his own company. He left that corporate job. They hired him back as a consultant, double his salary with less
I
hours.
love it.
The anaphylactic shock totally went away, disappeared, seemingly overnight, because
Magic.
he was now doing what he loved to do,
Mhm.
spending time with his family, getting to watch his girls grow up, taking them on trips. He found a new way of being in this world.
Yes.
That's right what I was talking about, having fun.
Having
And
fun.
Chris, do you find that people are afraid to have fun? They're afraid to allow themselves to kind of stick a toe out of the box every
Mhm.
once in a while and try something a little bit different?
They are, and I believe it comes from society. We are taught as young children, when we get in school specifically, quit daydreaming, focus on your studies. If you want something, work harder. So that dream and that being fun is kind of pushed to the back because we got to focus. We got to work harder if we want something. And it's drilled into us over and over and over again. So when we get into adulthood, that is already seated there. So it's hard for us to step out of that, to have fun, to release and be okay. It's okay to have fun because they don't make it okay in society. And when you do, oh, well, you've just gone off your rocker. Well, no, I'm taking care of myself. I'm having fun. So it is very difficult for us in this society to break out of the norm. We have to have, and typically, if you look at it, there has to be something catastrophic happen in your life, or in some cases, something crazy awesome has happened in your life. For me, I met the love of my life, and that yeah, I was in a horrible spot, but meeting that person changed my perspective.
Hmm.
And that's when I was introduced to this training that I now teach called Dream Builder. I and it just resonated. And I'm like, I got to jump on this bandwagon. And I did. And I haven't looked back since.
I love it.
I kicked the bucket and I said, I'm having fun.
Oh, that's great. You talk a little bit about the book Who Moved My Cheese, and so I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how you got involved with that, and is that part of your training?
Not per se in the Who Moved My Cheese concept, but we do touch on things during that. The book was brought to me by an old boss when I worked at a huge corporation. I was getting into leadership at that point, and he was probably one of the nicest, most encouraging bosses I've ever had. And
You were
he
lucky.
said, I was very lucky, very lucky. And he said, I want you to read this corny little book, but he said, I think you'll get a lot out of it. And it was that book, Who Moved My Cheese? And he taught me how to look at where I had fit into that book at different points in my life. There's four different characters in this book. And if we look at it, we can all be one of those characters at some point or other in our
Mm.
life. And I, this book just kind of grabbed me. And it's like, I can bring this to people and it can be funny, it can be humorous, and we don't have to always be so serious. Even though in this book there are some serious characters, specifically him and Ha. They're always the serious ones. Him not wanting to move. He don't want to go to look for new cheese. He wants that cheese right there, like he's always had it. And if it's not there, he's mad. And then there's Ha that it's like, I like my cheese, but okay, I guess I'll go look for more cheese. And cheese is the metaphor for life. The job changes. Somebody, a company is taken over by another company. You don't know what's going to happen. So it is a cute little book with some craziness metaphors, but they all apply to our life and to our businesses.
Yep. Fun book. It's
It
funny. I'm
is.
trying to remember when I read that. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here, and when you said hem and haw, it reminded me, we just made a major move from Texas to Colorado, and we still have boxes that haven't been unpacked. Thank God I have a garage because there's no room in the house for them. But I think that Richard would represent him and I represent haw, but eagerly.
Okay.
I was looking for a change. I was looking for, in a sense, a return to where I really enjoyed life. And I know that part of it is the weather, but there's a whole different atmosphere. And, being open. And interestingly, when you have an engineer type who is, too focused, and if you move his cheese, he doesn't know where to find it. So we've been going through let's hop in the car and go someplace. Where? I don't know. Let's just drive, which is like anathema. But what we did Friday, July 4th, having lived where we are now for 15 years before I went back to Houston, I made some friends. Thank you, God, they're still around. And I said, let's go down this street because I think that Tim and Jackie live here. And serendipity, you'll definitely get this. Down the street, we drive very slowly, and we see a group of people in front of one of the houses, and the street is called River Oaks because it's next to the river, and there are a lot of big oak trees. And there were about maybe a dozen, 15 people, and some tables set up, but right in the street. And the street is just open. There's no sidewalks. It's just street and lawn, you know, lots of woods, really. And the houses are in among those. And sure enough, we stop, and I'm looking, and there's Tim, and there's Jackie, and Jackie does this. I'm driving, and she's on the other side of the car, on the passenger side of the car, and she goes, I said, "Hi, Jackie, it's Ricki." Blah. So at Serendipity, they invited us to join the rest of them, and they had this whole lovely barbecue and fresh fruits and this, that, and the other thing. And we met a whole bunch of people, including I reconnected with a woman with whom I'd worked for several years, who was also my tax person. And she and her husband were there. And it just turned into an absolutely lovely afternoon of meeting new people. And Richard was perfectly comfortable. He totally enjoyed the day. And
And he had to step out of his comfort zone, not knowing where, but just get
oh,
in the car and trust.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm totally the opposite because I'll get in the car and drive someplace and look around, see what's going on, and then get out of the car and tromp through the woods. So,
Yeah.
so it really um it's an adventure. Life should be an adventure. And
Indeed.
that made it really that brought it home to me. Just that one little incident. So
Yeah.
So I have
let's
to
hear
Awesome.
that.
say, I love the fact that Chris has taken this on as his passion that he wanted to bring to other people, because not everybody has a wife like you who can bring them out of their stuckness. We need people like Chris to help us change our mindset,
Oh
because I
yeah.
believe that is the biggest problem humans have, is we get stuck in a mindset. And if you can't get out of it, what are you going to do? You can try a lot of different things. You can go to YouTube and maybe do some meditation or whatever, but you have a system that you have created that you help your clients through. And I love that, because we need you, Chris. We just have to get the word out more.
Take
Yeah.
the blinders off.
Take the blinders off.
That's
Exactly.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there
You
anything
know,
coming up, Chris, that you want to tell us about, that maybe you have I don't know, a group or something that you could invite people to?
I have a workshop coming up on
Workshop.
the
That's it.
6th of August. I have them monthly. It's the first Wednesday in August, the 6th of August at 6 p.m. Central Time. It is available on my website, dreamsandbloomllc.com/events. And I would love it if you'd come and see what I have. I give a 1 hour workshop. And in that workshop, I give you 3 tools. And these tools come directly from the Dream Builder system. And the Dream Builder system has 10 principles that we go over. And we we work with all areas of life because we live in all areas of life every day. And we don't want to be bankrupt in one area and abundant in another. That just don't work. So we want to have a balanced life. And that's what we focus on. But in this workshop, in the time that I have with you, I am able to give you 3 of these principles. And I think they're probably 3 of the most important principles in life because it's something that is very simple, but it is powerful. And I don't think we understand the power that these principles offer. So come be with me. I'd love to have you join me and give you these principles and let you start dreaming big and see where life takes you.
I love
Great.
that. Thank you, Chris. We'll
Yes.
put all the information down in the
Yeah.
in the comments below, and we'll put you up on, all of the places where we can reach people. Another thing I like about the three of us here is Ricki she's fantastic. I love her as a co-host for my podcast. But she also has a very unique way, and it may be because you both took the same training. I don't know, but she has a very unique way of helping her clients as well. So she wants people to eat healthy so they can feel healthy. And you have a different perspective, but you're both doing the same thing. And I love that about both of you. So thank you for being here with us.
Thank you. And thank you to everybody watching. If you haven't already put a comment below, we certainly want you to do something, whether it's yay, nay, or whatever, but please comment.
No
If you
nays.
found one nugget, just one goodie that you can remember, whether it's going to get the book, Who Moved My Cheese, or Who Not How, and you'd like to join us, that's fine. That'd be great. But just if you're, if you've heard something that really struck you and touched your heart, please let us know. We appreciate the feedback. And then come back again next Monday because we'll be here again.
Excellent.
And
Thank you,
thank you
everybody.
so much.
Namaste.